Feeling like a boss, I done made it. Get so like a spaceship.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the New York Giants and the Washington Redskins. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action...
And, Coach, we find ourselves due east from our nation's capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Tonight, we put a bow on Week 15 with a good Monday night matchup between the New York Giants and the Washington Redskins. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And, yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Bortles again here on 2nd and 10. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And early on, they're picking up right where they left off last week.
And I know a lot of coaches say each game is its own. You don't really have carryover. This feels like carryover. So much confidence from the previous game that they're using to their advantage now.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Bortles now on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
380.
Bortles will try again on 2nd down. And he comes back with one complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. To give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
Brandon, unless my eyes deceive me, I think they found a matchup that they're trying to exploit here, don't you? I mean, it's the second time they've gone to him here on this drive.
Yeah, opening drive. It's a tone setter, right? I think they're going to be looking his way a lot.
Yeah, and I think that the way things are going right now, they like him as a featured receiver. Let's see what kind of adjustments the defense is going to make to try and take that away.
And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Shotgun now for Bortles. Flushed out right. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage. Now Bortles throwing on second down. And that'll be incomplete. Ryan Switzer, the intended target. And it's 3rd and 5. Now that's twice now already in this first quarter that he's been able to knock a ball away.
They're going to need that from him and plenty more if they want to slow down this passing game. Thus far, though, he's been a ball magnet.
Bortles now on 3rd and goal. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. In for the score. And the Redskins have taken a first-quarter lead. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories. And you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do. And when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there. That nice opening drive because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
Gold now out to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. The numbers for him from a week ago. And Charles, how do you think he ran the football?
I thought he definitely had his moments. I did think that they could have utilized him a little bit better, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him to see how they're going to use him this week.
On second down, here's Barkley. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
James has got it, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Richardson now, operating from the gun, and the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. They'll look to throw again. And Ingram holds it in. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone. Because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count. I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football. But that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Richardson. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice and it all came together. But I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
And the drive begins with a run by Geis. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 21 carries, 92 yards, and a touchdown.
After the last game, they had plenty of reason to be confident in their running game. And even though they're facing a top 10 defense, they're not going to shy away from doing what they do best. Make them adjust to them. Make them stop what they do before they go to any type of a change-up.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And his first carry, he loses the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it, and somehow he got to it and was able to recover it for his squad.
Throwing his Bortles on third down. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
This is taken at about the 14. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away.
And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle and frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play-action fake.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A big play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Giants are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Rosas good with the extra point. And we are tied at 7. As we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. Following the penalty, it's Geis. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Green 80.
On 2nd down, here's Bortles. On the catch, it's Crowder. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
And on 3rd and 15, we see the dime look, 6 DBs on the field.
Playing pass all the way.
Green 80. Green 80.
Working from the gun, it's Bortles. And that is incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target, and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
That's pulled in at the 32. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially given 15. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Hoffman. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. His first catch, good for 16 and a first. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
Wide open receiver complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. So in the 2nd quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. Skirts by at the 15. How did he stay on his feet? And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Another good carry there for the NFL's 2nd leading rusher, and we've talked on air, off air about his MVP candidacy. Make a case for him.
But I'm just going to tell you point blank, it doesn't matter whether he's 1st or 2nd or even 3rd in the league in rushing yardage. That's not the main deal. It's how he gets those yards and the impact he has on his ball club.
Looking to throw. Richardson. And that is caught. He's got it for a giant touchdown. Deon Cain, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Giants are in for 6. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was the super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles, rolling the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. The Redskins on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
We got 3. Green 80.
From the gun, it's Bortles. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. So that'll be marked down as a 19-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out come the Giants. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
To throw is Richardson. Throwing to start the drive. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. The pitch goes to Barkley, and he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
When I watch plays like that, I give a lot of thanks that my DNA did not make me an offensive tackle, because that is a very difficult job to hold your block against a really good defensive end and hang on to it so your runner can get to the edge and do it without holding. I don't know that that's really possible for very many people.
And with a 3rd and 13 here, the defense in a dime look. Here's Richardson. From the gun, he'll throw. Forced out to his left. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. On the handoff, it's Geis. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made that time by Dalvin Tomlinson.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Green 80.
From the gun on 3rd down, Bortles. This one caught by Crowder. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration. Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Richardson looking to throw on second down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's James. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 15 yards through the air and a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains, and really it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Don't be surprised if they'll come right back to him again. They haven't shown the propensity to be able to stop him.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Now Richardson throwing again. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. There's a running back who was a receiver on the play. I think he's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he went to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Strong coverage by Washington, and now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Still a little bit of time left here in the 2nd quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
30 seconds remain in this first half as they come up here 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
380.
Bortles to throw on 2nd down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Throwing on 1st down is Bortles. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
One thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Back to the air on second down. It's Bortles to the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Bortles to throw once more. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaunt alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout. And now we're set to get going.
Set. Green 80.
A final shot before half for Bortles. And this is going to be incomplete. So we come upon halftime here with the visiting Giants out on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL.
Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter.
Next, we head off to check out another game. And it was the visiting Dolphins who were able to get the victory. Dak Prescott leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And the Giants ready to come out now. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. Second half begins with a run from Barkley. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They'll go to Barkley again. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Back to throw. Richardson. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And he puts a little something extra into this one, by far his best of the night. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Redskins offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker board?
Yeah, those two.
They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
Throwing now is Bortles. He'll get this one to Switzer. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
A 40-yard punt, given 3 on the return. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round!
Richardson now to throw again. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Handoff to Barkley. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Again, it's Barkley. Got some real estate inside the 30. And he takes it all the way down to the 22. That good for 19 and a 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So a solid run by Saquon Barkley, and another 1st and 10 here. To throw is Richardson on 1st down, eluding the pressure right. To Barkley on the check down. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Come on, let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round!
Here's Richardson on 1st and 10. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down.
Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
On the counter, here's Williams. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
Richardson to throw on 2nd down. This will be caught at about the 5. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now Richardson going to throw on 3rd and goal. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
They'll try to get this running game going with Geis. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they give up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about this all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Green 80! Green 80!
On first down, this is Geis. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It's the Redskins with the football, but trailing here as we get down to the good stuff. Quarter number 4.
Green 80!
Here's Bortles to throw. Open man is Switzer, complete. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the...
Looking for Crowder, and it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Giants touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Washington offense as we get a look at the playoff race in the NFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Set. Green 80.
To throw, it's Bortles. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Bortles now to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Anthony Averett picks it. And some room to roam now. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And they will finally stop him, but a great return. Gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Steps away to his left. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. As his guys are in for 6. And the Giants use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out comes the Washington offense as we get a look at the playoff race in the NFC. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here.
Green 80.
Bortles again here on 2nd and 10. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding, offense.
So that one a hold, right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. Now Bortles. And this is going to be incomplete.
And that incompletion was caused by the defense. I think they were trying to get one into the middle of the field, trying to find a receiver there. But they were in zone defense. And what are the advantages of being in zone? Eyes and reaction. Eyes meaning all eyes are on the quarterback and able to react when he throws the football and rally to that spot. And that's exactly what happened there. Able to get there and knock it away.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Monte Nicholson picks it, and he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step one. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still a 3-score game, though, fourth quarter. So after the INT, it's Bortles. He's going to float this one deep right side. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
Green 80. Green 80.
Now we've got whistles here before the snap. Was this on the Redskins? I think so.
False start, offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
Green 80.
Shotgun now for Bortles. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now Bortles. And now another one thrown incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
That's taken on the 25.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a first down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10.
Let's go. Grand 38. Grand 38.
Looking to throw. Richardson. Over the middle, complete. That's Hoffman. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. That's a good way to start the drive, 17 yards and a first down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind them.
He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
The Giants on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down. You bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because it nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
Green 80. Green 80.
Bortles will try again on second down. Now they go screen. It's complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Bortles going to throw. And he is going to be hit and taken down. Bortles sacked.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. They had the double-digit lead at halftime, and they have continued to roll. They're hard to stop right now.
I think what we're seeing is an example of a team that has it figured out in this ball game. And whatever the adjustments are the defense has made, hasn't slowed them, hasn't phased them at all. They either anticipated them or they've been so far ahead that they just can't catch up.
Now it's just a search to add to the lead. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. They keep it with Barkley on first down. There he goes inside the 30 and down to the 29-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get this down to the 10. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Richardson now throwing on first down. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 3 yards is the gain that time. Second and goal. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on second and goal. To throw is Richardson, operating from the gun. And this one's incomplete. Evan Ingram was the intended target, and it's third down.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The Giants on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. They're looking at a third and goal here. Here's Richardson. From the gun, he'll throw. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. So another score there, and often you talk about the three phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. This is taken at the 3. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Green 80.
On 2nd down, here's Bortles. And this is going to be incomplete. It's been that kind of a day so far throwing the football. It just seems like nothing going right offensively.
Yeah, it's a catch that should have been made, pure and simple. And look, everything else that goes into running a good pass route, throw it all out if you don't catch the ball.
Been that kind of game throwing the football so far. Nothing going right offensively. Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. He's going to let it fly. And got his man complete. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
Green 80.
On 1st down, Bortles. But he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Green 80.
From the gun, it's Bortles. Now a desperation throw deep downfield, and that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Try and get it all back with one big shot right there, but even if successful, that doesn't get them all the way back to where they need to be. Can't totally abandon throwing the ball underneath as well.
On 3rd and long, it's Bortles. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback.
Flex round. Flex round. Flex round. Flex round. Ohio. Ohio. Mike is 59. Mike is 59.
Richardson on 1st down, escaping the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. Now Richardson going to throw again. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you